and thank you for being here. I want you to think about the last time you went to the doctor's office. Did it take you a long time to be seen? Who saw you once you got in? I've worked in healthcare for several years now, and I've watched as medical doctor availability has gone down. There's currently a national shortage of medical doctors. And to make up for that, there's an increase in non MD healthcare workers taking care of patients. So, why is this shortage such a problem and who is it affecting? As the shortage increases, patient access to healthcare has gone down. As you can see in this graph here, over the last several years, the amount of doctors has just slightly increased, whereas the demand for doctors has continued to go up. The American Medical Association expects that in the next 10 years, there could be a shortage of up to 140,000 medical doctors in the US alone. This shortage affects all areas, but especially primary care. And in the US, especially in rural and lower socioeconomic areas. The Kaiser Family Foundation found that there's currently almost 84 million people in the US who live in an area that's designated as having a shortage of primary care providers. As access to primary care decreases, visits to the emergency department continued to increase. The U.S. Census Bureau found that people in lower socioeconomic areas are more likely to go to the emergency department for problems that were preventable, and that people in rural areas are more likely to wait because they don't have access to primary care until their problem is so big they have to go to the emergency department for treatment. Increased visits to the emergency department increases both the price of health care for hospitals as well as for patients. So, this is clearly a big problem. What can be done about it? One step being taken to increase access to health care is moving toward a more multidisciplinary care team, employing more non-MD healthcare professionals, such as physician assistants, to help care for patients. Physician assistants are licensed medical professionals who are trained to evaluate, diagnose, and treat patients under the supervision of a medical doctor. The physician assistant education consists of a bachelor's degree, usually in a science field, and then a master's of physician assistant, which takes about 2 to 3 years. After getting their master's, they have to pass a national certification exam, and then they are ready to work. PAs work in all areas of healthcare, but the majority of them work in primary care. The Bureau of Labor Statistics expects that in the next 10 years, the number of PAs will increase by about 28%. So why are PAs so helpful in healthcare? The increase in amount of PAs is increasing accessibility to healthcare as well as decreasing overall costs. PAs are able to see patients on their own and carry out visits without a doctor present, meaning a lot more people can be seen and wait times are much less. It also means there's more time for education on preventative health care to hopefully lessen the need for future visits and definitely the need for emergency department visits. The Department of Labor and Statistics states that medical doctors make almost twice as much a year as physician assistants do, and that lower cost helps to lower the overall costs to hospitals and patients. The decrease in cost, both from decreased emergency department visits, as well as decreased wages for PAs instead of MDs. Both allow for more money to be allotted to bringing primary care to underserved areas. In summary, the national shortage of medical doctors continues to increase, decreasing accessibility to healthcare overall. This is especially affecting primary care in areas that are rural and of lower socioeconomic standing. Turning to a more multidisciplinary care team approach and employing more workers such as PAs is one way of increasing access to healthcare. Physician assistants are able to treat patients and are helping to bring care to underserved communities. Next time you go to the doctor, pay attention to who your care team is and understand why they are there.